Welcome to 6G Agenda. I'm your host, Andrew, here again with my man, Justin Ward, on the chords.
Yo.
And we talk about what they want. Welcome. Hey, I hope you guys are enjoying everything. We just got done with our first Patreon episode. So you guys, after this, go check it out. We got a free trial. You guys can hear it for free. It's a 9/11 special. 9/11 happened yesterday. If you haven't heard it already, you got to go check that out. We did our thing.
Hell yeah.
We hope you enjoy it. Please leave your feedback and hopefully you stick around. You know, we're going to have a lot of good stuff to come on there. We're talking book clubs. We'll probably do a book club once every, week. And then we'll also do an episode once every other week, something like that. We'll figure it out. But also we got a Discord, all the good shit there. If you didn't hear our promo clip, check that out as well. So I won't bore you with the details. Please check out our description. Go ahead and rate us, share, comment. We will shout you out. That's what we do. Speaking of, thank you for the we'll start with Apple. Thank you for the review, Misty. She's a fire follow on X, guys. You know, I highly recommend following her on X. She goes after everybody. She does not play any games. I appreciate it. Yeah, I did mention something about Andrew, which is a possible candidate for the contract with the Golden Dome. She's one of the few that saw it. She's like, nobody talks about that. I was like, well, go check out our podcast because we talk about what they want.
Hell yeah.
And so she came through and she fucks with it. So thank you.
Good shit.
We appreciate all the love. We'll get over to our man. Sarah Boston. Thank you so much. Always. You always leave a lot of good comments. We appreciate it. Go ahead and timestamp. Just write down like the time that you're saying some of those. Cause then I'll get some context of which part you're at. So I can better answer some of your comments as well.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that.
Sometimes I'll be in the comments as you're commenting. And I would love to know where you're at.
Yeah, dude, we'll answer you. You know what I mean? Some normal guys. We got, we answer shit.
Yeah, we're out here.
Yeah, we're out here, bro. And so OG T-Tel, the true legend. He's been coming through, commenting for a while.
Yeah.
Came over from Cosmic a while back. That's our guy. And hey, we started this Silent Weapons series. It's going to be part 2. And it's mainly MK Ultra, but he understood the context for what we were doing with that series name, Silent Weapons. Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, he mentioned, by the Bilderberg Memorandum. You won't be able to find it under the Bilderberg Memorandum because it actually is a part of something kind of different. I'll show you because we're actually going to break that down. So let it go backwards. Thank you very much. Because we're going to go on a deep dive on that. So hopefully we can give you some shit you haven't even heard of with this shit because we're going to read it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, you tickled Drew's brain with this one.
You got me, dude. So we're going to put an additional segment to this series. What is Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars? Let's get into it. This document is presented as an introductory programming manual for psychological and economic warfare, and it claims to originate from a 1954 agenda, right around the time of MK Ultra, as we're talking about that. It was reprinted in May 1979 to mark the 25th anniversary of what it terms the Quiet War. That's weird. 25 years of Quiet War?
Quiet War.
Could it be that MK Ultra is the Quiet War that they're covertly, non-violently, or possibly silently, violently a little bit fighting without us knowing?
Yeah, they're definitely
social
silent
engineering?
about the shit.
Oh, definitely. But could it be that they're doing this through social engineering rather than, outwardly? I mean, it seems that way.
It does kind of seem like that. We've talked about that plentifully.
Yeah, and we're gonna break down the document, man, because once you hear what they say, the first paragraph's gonna knock your socks off. Dude, that first paragraph, if you got socks on now, you go ahead and kick them off, dude. Because as soon as I get into that first paragraph, you're gonna forget about it.
Better keep them on a leash. They're gonna go.
Real shit, bro. So on 7/7/1986, an employee of Boeing Aircraft Company purchased a surplus IBM copier at a sale for scrap parts. And inside the copier, the employer found this employee found this manual without official seals or classification stamps, but it was tucked under among other materials that were. And the documents claimed the claimed origins of the document, rather, was, I guess, Boeing. And it purports the plan was seeded around 1954, corresponding with the first Bilderberg meeting, which, yes, Bilderberg meeting, it did correlate with that. That's where he got for the memorandum.
Mm.
But it was found, and you'll find it if you look this up, Silent Weapons, Quiet Wars, if you look up like Boeing. Whenever I looked up Bilderberg memorandum, I actually had trouble finding it. And that's the only reason why I gave that caveat. So anyway, according to the text, later compiled as a technical manual, the narrative implies the manual is genuine and possibly classified through this, though this is based solely on the text itself. So I will be honest, we can't quite confirm 100% like what this is, but it seems kind of legit. I mean, this dude, just finds this document. I don't know, unless he wrote it himself.
Another one of those.
Kind of, you know what I mean? But this one's kind of weird because, again, dude, I feel like this one is okay. So for the sole fact that it is one of those documents, I feel like we should read it. Here's why. If you go and read the book and document as if it wasn't true, and then as you read it, you see that it becomes unignorably similar to like reality, which is what I experienced.
Yeah.
Then you start to think, okay, this could be like the learned elders of Zion, where they put something out there, discredit it, say it's a forgery, or don't give it the certain seals it needs,
Sure.
but it has everything in it that they're doing.
Yeah.
And so then it's like, okay, so they just leave plausible deniability. And that's what they do, man. I mean, we know that from all these other instances, that's what they do every single time.
Yep.
There's kind of a constant here. And so that's what you just got to rely on that sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a good thing for them to fall back on. It does
Oh,
seem
yeah, you
like
got it.
that.
Yeah. Well, because you know that, like, okay, so there's this idea of this karmic law that they have to tell you everything that they're doing to get away with what they're doing karmically, right? To where they
Right.
don't have to hold the karmic weight of
Yeah.
doing it. And so I think that this is one of the ways to do that if that was true. I mean, you put it out there, you say, hey, man, it's right there. You just chose to not believe it because of
Yeah.
a fucking seal. But who took the time to write all this down and then also see parallel shit going on in your world? How could you not think it's real? You know what I'm saying? That's kind
Right.
of where I'm going with it. Pretty nuts. So let's get into it. The first paragraph here. Actually, no, let's get into what it is. So this astonishing document was discovered in a surplus copier purchased from Boeing Aircraft in 1986. It reveals a detailed plan hatched in the embryonic days of the Cold War, which called for the control of masses through manipulation of industry, people, pastimes, education, and political leanings. It called for a quiet revolution, pitting brother against brother and diverting the public's attention from what is really going on. For all intents and purposes, this document has come to pass, reprinted in its original form, includes diagrams. So that's just kind of the intro. Now, this is where it gets nuts. The first paragraph after that, because I mean, that's kind of crazy what it said a minute ago, because that sounds a lot like what we see.
Yeah.
So the first paragraph here, it is patently impossible to discuss social engineering or the automation of a society on a national or worldwide scale without implying extensive objectives of social control and destruction of human life, i.e., slavery and genocide. So it's impossible to talk about, dude,
Yeah.
first fucking paragraph. It's impossible to talk about social engineering on a national or worldwide scale without also implying the destruction of human life, i.e., slavery or genocide. Like, this got me hooked. I was up
Yeah,
like
dude.
all night, dude. I was up like all night reading this. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding
Good
me.
shit.
Like, dude, so thank you. Let it go backwards. You're the truth, bro. This manual is in itself an analog declaration of intent. So, such a writing must be secured from public scrutiny Otherwise, it might be recognized as a technically formal declaration of domestic war. So he's like, look, man, you can't show nobody this because people are going to see this and be like, what the fuck? Just like I was. That's
Yeah.
that's kind of crazy that it was said also right there. That's why I believe this document. I mean, it's typed in the same CIA font that you would find. You should
Mm-hmm.
pull this up, by the way. I'll go ahead and email it to you
Okay.
just so we can have it up on the. I thought I downloaded it already, but it's making me download it.
Send me the shit.
I got an idea. So yeah, hold on, because we want to pull it up for you guys to see too. I mean, this shit is legit, and we're gonna leave a link to this as well.
Yeah, and you'll also be able to find this in the Discord, in the receipts.
Yep. Hey, if you join the Patreon Discord receipts, and we'll give you the link. Look at that, dude. I mean, we don't always give links, but this one's kind of crazy. So we're gonna do it.
Yep.
Discord server through the Patreon. All right. So let me get back to it here. The solution of today's problem requires an approach which is ruthlessly candid with no agonizing over religious, moral, or cultural values. You hear that? Today's problems require approach which is ruthlessly candid.
Yeah.
No agonizing over religion's moral or cultural values. So in other words, we need to throw away any idea of cultural values, religion, and morality.
What page you on here?
So I'm on the first page. You have quality at the end of the first page right there. Zoom in. Right above that. Right above that. Yeah, right there at the end. Last paragraph. Okay. You have qualified for this project because of your ability to look at human society with cold objectivity and yet analyze and discuss your observations and conclusions with others of similar intellectual capacity without a loss of discretion or humility. So this motherfucker's like, you're a cold son of a bitch, and that's why we picked you, because you don't give a fuck, dude. And that's really what it is. Such virtues are exercised in your own best interest. Do not deviate from them. So in other words, you better not become like a normal fucking human. You got to stay a cold soldier.
Hey, so you know in like movies and shit when they say the title of the movie in the
Yeah.
movie, that's when you know
Yeah.
shit gets real.
Yeah. That's what it does. And it underlines it. Don't you love how it underlines it too?
Silent weapon. Shit's
Silent
getting
weapon
real.
technology has evolved from operations research, a strategic and tactical methodology developed under the military management in England during World War II. The original purpose of the operations research was to study the strategic and tactical problems of air, land, and sea, I would imagine, defense, with the objective of effective use of limited military resources against foreign enemies, i.e., logistics. So, in other words, we fight wars with drones now, right? Like we don't have to use a lot of manpower to go and do it.
Yeah.
So he's saying we want to use a digital means. I mean, without saying it, he'll get to it soon. But he's saying we were looking into developing a way to do it the best way, mainstream, centralized.
Mm,
How would you say it? Like hardline everything under one umbrella, make it, and that's
yeah.
what we see developing today.
That's why the military is like collecting all the fucking nerds so they can fly all these drones and shit.
Gateway, baby. We'll get into that shit. It was soon recognized by those in positions of power that the same methods might be useful for totally controlling a society, but better tools were necessary. And that's where you get into the computers and shit. And he'll talk about that. Social engineering requires the correlation of great amounts of constantly changing economic information. So he thinks it all boils down to economic, because he thinks with the push of a button, you can control somebody if you control their finances.
Mm-hmm.
He'll get into that. So a high-speed computerized data processing system was necessary, which could race ahead of the society and predict when society would arrive for capitulation. Does this kind of sound like Bitcoin to you?
Yeah.
Like you get it under one centralized fucking, oh man. Relay computers are too slow, but the electronic computers invented in 1946 by J. Presper Eckert and John Mauchly filled the bill. The next breakthrough was the development of the simplex method. In 1947 by the mathematician George Danzig. And in 1948, the transistor was invented. Okay. So they invented some shit where the computer field reduced space and power requirements.
Mm.
But with those three inventions under their direction, those in positions of power strongly suspected that it was possible for them to control the whole world with the push of a button. Immediately, the Rockefeller Foundation got in on the ground floor by making a 4-year grant to the Harvard College. And they funded the Harvard Economic Research Project for the study of the structure of the American economy. 1 year later, in 1949, the United States Air Force joined in. Dude, they're getting after it. So,
Dude,
you got the military working with Harvard to create a new structure of the American economy, essentially. In 1952, the original grant period terminated on a high-level meeting of the elite who held to determine the next phase of the social operations research, aka the Bilderberg Group. The Harvard project had been very fruitful as is borne out by the publication of some of its results in 1953, and it suggested the feasibility of economic social engineering. So they're proving the proof of concept that you can economically social engineer people. So in the last half decade of the 40s, the new quiet war machine stood, so to speak, in sparkling gold-plated hardware on the showroom floor by 1954. With the creation, the fuck does that say? M-O-S.
of Mincer?
What the fuck is that? It literally says like M-N-S-O-R. Anyways, whatever. Okay. The promise of unlocking unlimited sources of fusion atomic energy from the heavy hydrogen in the seawater. Oh, this is where they start to get into the fact that nuclear physics started to make it to where, like quantum physics makes it to where this compute. Oh, dude. Guys, by the way, this was a connection I was making while I read this.
Oh, look at that.
The promise of unlocking unlimited resources of fusion atomic energy from the heavy hydrogen in seawater and the consequent availability of unlimited social power became a possibility only decades away. So essentially, they're talking about, because they mentioned how quantum computing, once they split the atom, they figured out that they could do quantum like physics shit. And then if they could do quantum computers, then they can control all the financial and social systems like that.
Yeah.
So this volume marks the 25th year of the beginning of the Quiet War. Already, this domestic war has had many victories on many fronts throughout the world. So they're claiming victory on people already. Here it is. This is where we start to get into that thing. Energy is recognized as the key to all activity on Earth. Natural science is the study of the sources and control of natural energy. And social science, theoretically expressed as economies, is the study of the sources and control of the social energy. Dude, these letters are like half broken.
I got
Like
it pulled up large
old
on your
printer.
screen if you want to read it off the screen.
That is a little bit darker on my screen right there. In 1954, oh, fuck. In 1954, this was the issue of the primary concern. Although the so-called moral issues were, oh, my fault. All science is merely a means to an end. The means is knowledge. The end is control. Beyond this remains only one issue. Who will be the beneficiary? Then it gets into, in 1954, this was the issue of the primary concern. Although the so-called moral issues were raised in view of the law of natural selection, it was agreed that a nation or world of people will not use their intelligence are no better than animals who do not have intelligence. Such a people are beasts of burden and stakes on the table by choice and consent. That is a Bill Cooper quote. And I
Jesus
remember whenever I
Christ.
heard, dude, I remember whenever I heard Bill Cooper say that. And I was like, what the fuck?
Good
Who said
night,
that? Dude, again, in
Beasts of
1954, they
burden.
didn't know who the beneficiary was going to be of this system. So in 1954, this issue came up, and their answer that they agreed upon was that people, the nation of the world of people who will not use their intelligence are no better than animals who do not have intelligence. And such a people are beasts of burden and stakes on the table by choice and consent. That's a fucking crazy, crazy thing to say, dude.
Yeah, that is a wild fucking thing to say. Imagine that
We're
being an
animals.
icebreaker.
And that's why I said in one of our first episodes that the Freemasons believe that, amongst others, the cabal, they believe that we're animals. They're led to slaughter by our own choice because we choose not to use our own intelligence. And I told you that in the first episode. And here we are. And now I've found where the fuck that quote came from. In the interest of the future, world order, peace, and tranquility, it was decided to privately wage a quiet war against the American public with an ultimate objective of permanently shifting the natural and social energy, aka wealth, of the undisciplined and irresponsible may into the hands of the self-disciplined and responsible and the worthy few. So yeah, we're gonna transfer all the wealth up to the worthy few.
Jesus.
In order to implement this objective, it was necessary to create, secure, and apply now weapons, which, as it turned out, were a class of weapons so subtle and sophisticated in their principle of operations and public appearances as to earn for themselves the name silent weapons. And I believe right now we're talking about frequencies. We're talking about our Wi-Fi. We're talking about our cell phones. We're talking about a lot of things that, if we're being real, bro, like that's what he's talking
Yeah.
about, dude.
Yeah.
Radiation in the silent, subtle ways, because you got to remember, this is about MK Ultra as well, and they were studying the mind while they also did all this. It's fucking crazy.
So I think I might have solved the mystery behind that Macer Mooser shit or whatever. Because this
Okay, okay,
is
okay.
this is the in
Oh,
April of
oh,
1954 how it worked. The
yep.
device amplified microwaves using a beam of energized ammonia molecules.
And yeah, the microwave was created because they radio, like a person fucking around with radiation and like microwaves and shit. They melted their candy bar and they're like, oh yeah, you could heat stuff up with this.
Yeah, yeah. They're like, look at
That's like
this.
legit where it came from. Like it comes from, again, the subtle little silent weapons that they use on us. This is one of
Yeah.
them. Microwaves. Microwaves is
Wonder
a
why no
big
one
one.
fucking questioned that back in the day, but it's neither here nor there.
Nobody questioned anything back in the day, it feels like.
They were
In
just like, oh,
conclusion,
cool.
yeah. Yeah, I know. In conclusion, the objective of economic research was conducted by the magnation of capital, banking, and the industries of commodities or goods and services. Is the establishment of an economy which is totally predictable and manipulatable, which is kind of what we live in now. In order to achieve a totally predictable economy, the low class elements of the society must be brought under total control.
Must be
Wow, dude.
housebroken, trained, and
Yeah. Yep.
assigned a
Yoke.
yoke,
A yoke and
and
long
long
term
term.
social duties from a very early age. I mean, dude, that pissed me off. I didn't even want to read it.
Jesus
Must be
Christ.
housebroken, trained, and assigned a yoke and long term social. And that's fucked up, dude. Before
Where
they
we
have an
are
opportunity to
now.
question, yep. And before they have the opportunity to question the propriety of the matter. Now, once again, when I said I think that they're going after certain people with MK Ultra that react a certain way, they want the people to think for themselves. And they want to engineer that out of us. And there's proof right there, dude.
Yep.
There's proof right fucking there. In order to achieve much conformity, the lower class family unit must be disintegrated by a process of increasing preoccupation of the parents in the establishment of government operated daycare centers for the occupationally orphan children. And honestly, again, I'm reading this as if it's not true, but I can't, because as I go, I'm like, man, it really mirrors society today. So it's really hard to do that.
This next part is fucking insane.
Exactly. The quality of education given to the lower class must be of the poorest sort, so that the most of the ignorance oscill-
Isolating.
oscillating Okay,
Isolating.
isolating the inferior class from the superior class is and remains incomprehensible to the inferior class. Incomprehensible? Yeah,
Yeah.
incomprehensible. It's just half these letters are like
Yeah,
erased
see, the
with
copy
such
machine sucked.
yeah, it's like I could read if you just give me the damn font. You know what I mean? With such initial handicap, even bright lower class individuals have little of any hope of extricating themselves from their assigned lot in life. So there's fucked. This
Wow.
form of slavery is essential to maintaining some measure of social order, peace, and tranquility for the ruling upper class. This
Such
form of
fucking grief.
slavery is essential. What form of slavery?
I love how they underline the fucked parts. They're like, yeah, you see this?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Read that
We're
again.
gonna in the form of slavery, which it is the education being so poor that it gives you the handicap, and even the brightest lower class individuals have
Mm,
little of any hope of extricating themselves from the assigned lot in life,
yeah,
aka the cards they've been dealt.
right. So they never have the ambition to do anything, or
Mm-hmm.
they don't know how.
Or it's like impoverished. You know how they always say it's like a crab bucket, like people that are like in the hood, like you try to get out and they just pull you back down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been engineered into your society to be
Mm,
that way. Exactly, dude.
fucking
This
sad,
is
dude.
fucked. I mean, I'm telling you, I don't usually just read on the podcast, guys, and I hope nobody's left us because this is crazy. And that's why it's like definitely worthy. Okay, descriptive introduction to the silent weapon. Everything that is everything that is expected from an ordinary weapon is expected from a silent weapon by its creators, but only in its manner of functioning. It shoots situations instead of bullets.
Propelled.
Yep, propelled by data processing instead of chemical reaction, and it originating from bits of data instead of grains of gunpowder, from a computer instead of a gun, operated by a computer programmer instead of a marksman, under the orders of banking magnates instead of military generals. So they're telling you right there, the bankers are going to own everything once they get the computers at a place where they can own you, and
Misspelled
they don't
programmer,
need
but.
the middlemen like generals.
Mm-hmm.
They did do that. It makes no obvious explosive noises, nausea, no obvious or causes no obvious physical or mental injuries, and does not.
Obviously.
It doesn't say does. It says something else, I think.
No, yeah, it
Anyway,
says, and does not obviously interfere with anyone's daily social life.
all right, bet. Yes, it makes an unmistakable noise, causes unmistakable physical and mental damage, and unmistakably interferes with daily social life. But the public cannot comprehend this weapon and therefore cannot believe that they are being attacked and subdued by a weapon. It is fucked. The public might instinctively feel that something is wrong, but because of the technical nature of the silent weapon, because again, it's not about I mean, this is crazy. The technical nature, they cannot express their feelings in a rational way or handle the problems with intelligence. They control your mind. They've studied it through MK Ultra to this point. Therefore, you do not have or know how to cry out for help and do not know how to associate with others to defend yourself against it. And when a silent weapon is applied gradually to the public adjusts and adapts to its presence and learns to tolerate its encroachment on their lives until the pressure becomes too great and they crack up. And that's what we're witnessing today. People are going fucking nuts, dude. And it's got to be part of this shit, dude. I mean, dude, come on. Dude, I'm telling you, I stayed up all night reading this because I was freaked out. I was like, what the
Yeah.
fuck, dude? This is like too fucking on point. Like, even if somebody did write this, like, what are they, a prophet? You know what I mean? Like, this is next level. They're very
Yeah.
read up. They understand all the history of computers and how shit works. I just can't believe it's just a random person.
It almost seems like a fucking essay.
I know, but the way they write it though, like if you read other CIA documents, it was definitely written. in the same font, same style of writing.
I'll give you that. It definitely looks like it would be legit.
Yeah. Therefore, the silent weapon is a type of biological warfare. It attacks the vitality, options, and nobility of the individuals of a society by knowing, understanding, manipulating, and attacking their sources of natural and social energy, and their physical, mental, and emotional strengths and weaknesses are exploited, I would imagine. Give me control over a nation's currency, and I care not who makes its laws. That is a quote from Meyer Amschel Rothschild, 1743 to 1812, a scumbag. Today's silent weapon technology is an outgrowth of a simple idea discovered, succinctly expressed, and effectively applied by the quoted Meyer Rothschild. Mr. Rothschild discovered the missing passive component of economic uh, theory known as economic inductance. He, of course, did not think of his discovery in these 20th century terms. And to be sure, mathematical analysis had to wait for the second industrial revolution, the rise of theory and mechanics in electronics, and finally, the invention of the electronic computer before it could be effectively applied to the control of the world economy. I can't believe that computers this whole time were the end game.
Yeah, dude.
Like they were the end game, bro. I had no idea. Like that's
Fucking wild,
crazy.
huh?
Like I didn't know
We're gonna
this
be
whole
in there one
time.
day.
I mean, holy shit, dude. Like the deeper you get, like the more you realize like these guys pre-planned, like they knew before the computer was made that they needed a computer
Yeah.
to do everything that it does. And then a lot of people I love how conspiracy theorists they always say like the internet got away from them. The internet got away from them. Nah, dude, this was all pre-planned.
Mm,
They know your mind. They understand you.
yeah.
They want you to get this idea of like they give you pastimes and then they control it and then they control your mind and how you
Mm-hmm.
think. It's genius, bro. These are absolute genius psychopaths.
They are pretty good at what they do.
In the
I
study
always
of
say
energy,
that.
yeah, go ahead, please. I want to take a break anyway from it.
No, I was just saying, like, I always say that they're really good at what they do. They fucking know exactly how to distract everybody individually.
I know. It's crazy, dude. I wonder if we should just skip ahead. I mean, this is just going into the mechanics. In the science of physical mechanics, the phenomenon of potential energy is associated with a physical property called elasticity, or yeah, like this is I don't think we need to get down into the nitty gritty of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Let's
don't think we
scroll
need to
down a little.
necessarily read the
Wait, go
entire.
up. Wait, go up. Breakthrough. The
All right.
aviation field provided the greatest evolution of economic engineering by way of mathematical theory of shock testing. In this process, so I get it. Economics and social engineering is just like physics. And so they've made like they've made like an analogy for
Yeah.
themselves where they're like, if we do this, it's like physics. If you do this, this happens.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If I push on this, then that happens. Like it's not even, and that's why they take the human element out of it because it really does just come down to cause, effect, reaction, solution.
Yeah.
Genius. I mean, when you boil everything down to that, then everything is controllable. Wow.
That's why all them fucking nerds, dude. Everything is
Wow.
science.
I know you have to be a fucking you have to go into these kind of fields to then dude, it makes sense that it's built to be elite,
Yeah.
like centric, you know?
Yeah.
Genius. By studying the echoes of reflections of the recoil impulse in the airframe, it is possible to discover critical vibrations in the structures of the airframe, which either vibrations of the engine or selection what the fuck vibrations of the wings or the combination of the two might reinforce resulting in the resonance self-destruction. From the standpoint of engineering, this means that the strengths and weaknesses of the structure of the airframe in terms of vibrational energy can be discovered and manipulated. So they're saying that you can discover and manipulate it too. Oh, yeah. To use this method of airframe shock testing in economic engineering, the prices of commodities are shocked and the public consumer reaction is monitored. The resulting echoes of the economic shock are interpreted theoretically by computers, and psychoeconomic structure of the economy is thus discovered. So that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
That is crazy. They're like, how does that wing vibrate? All right, that's gonna win us $1 million. Like
Dude,
what?
that's crazy
Dude,
that they're like, yeah, their analogy is this shit is for society, bro. That's so fucking wild.
this is why I know that they believe in universal law and karma, especially because it says this. It says this. Since energy is the key to all activity on the face of the earth, it follows that in order to attain a monopoly of energy, raw materials, goods, and services, and to establish a world system of slave labor, it is necessary to have a first, no, stride. What does that say? Fuck. First stride
Hold up.
capability of the
Yeah.
field of economics. First strike capability in the field of economics. In order to maintain our position, it is necessary that we have absolute first knowledge of the science of control over all economic factors and the first experience at engineering the world economy. So they need to be in contact with the first engineering of everything so that way you
Oh,
can't understand how things work. Is that kind of what they're saying too?
yeah.
Energy is the key to all activity on the face of the earth. So it follows that in order to attain control, they have to establish a world system of slave labor. It is necessary to have a first strike capability in the field of economics. Yeah, it's crazy. We must at least achieve this one end that the public will not make either the logical or mathematical connection between economics and the other energy sciences or learn to apply such knowledge. This is becoming interestingly difficult to control because more and more businesses are making demands upon their computer programmers to create and apply mathematical models for the management of those businesses. It's only a matter of time before the now breed of private programmer economists will catch on the other far reaching implications of the work. Began in Harvard in 1948. Holy shit, dude. The speed with which they can communicate their warning to the public will largely depend on how effective we have been at controlling the media, subverting education, and keeping the public distracted with matters of no real importance.
Yeah.
Hey, Taylor Swift just got engaged. Oh my God.
Dude, yeah.
Like, motherfuckers are like,
Everyone
dude,
going
there's
fucking insane.
a college professor canceled class. They had like midterms. He's like, I can't even think about like class. You guys just let's go.
What
We're
a
we're just not even
fucking
gonna do.
bitch.
Dude, like it may have been a stunt, but my point is that last paragraph there. That's my point. That's fucking crazy. So again, how much they catch on and how quick depends entirely on how much they can control the narrative and everything else and keep you from knowing.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Let's go down a little bit more. I feel like this has been great.
That's been pretty good. Oh, nice little diagram here.
So we got a diagram of how energy works, get the aggregation, inductive factors to consider, population, magnitude of the economic activities of government, and the method of financing these government activities. Wow. Yeah, they got it all written out, dude. I mean, whoever wrote this wasn't a fucking chump.
No,
They knew some shit. I
this
mean,
is pretty
this
legit, it
is
seems.
this
Yeah.
is legit, guys. And that's why I want to go through it all because we obviously aren't going to read all of it. But that last paragraph is really what you needed to hear. I mean, they said too in the paragraph before that they can't have you understanding energy and economics and how they connect because then you'll understand how they control you. Go back up. It shows you how to do an equation. Look at this. Alcoholic beverage is a commodity. The price function is A. And then you have total sales. And there's like a mathematical like symbol that you can use.
Yeah.
This is crazy. All right, let's keep going down. Let's show the people. If you guys are looking, hopefully you guys are. Yeah, so we got some more mathematical, just a lot of math about how to control you. It's really what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Math on how to control you.
We're nearing the end here.
Here we are. So they got to track your assets. They got to track everything you do. Wait, go back up. That's important. Let's get right to there, right? Yeah, right there, right there. Personal consumer preferences. So they need to understand all this stuff so they can control everything you do. Ready? Because this is all going to be, this is everything they're trying to centralize right now. Tell me it's not. Checking account, saving account, real estate, business, stock market, safety deposit. So all your shit that you do, creditors,
Mm.
loans, consumer credit, welfare, if you're on social security, if you're on grants, subsidies, IRS, Palantir just got to deal with just about every organization that handles those things.
OSHA.
OSHA, yeah, that's great. You know what you're doing at work. Yep. Behavioral
Wow.
control. So they got to have your police, court, driving records, beliefs, contacts, positions, strengths, weaknesses, projects, activities. That's why
Good
you have social
grief.
media. That's why you have social media to follow that. They want your psychiatric record, hospital record, your legal criminal record, activities like sports and hobbies. If you consume alcohol, drugs, entertainment, religious factors. Dude, what does this have to do with economics? These all are letters for the equation. That's really what they all are. It's like, well, if we fuck with C, then D will be this, and C and D represent different aspects of your life.
Yeah. Do
That's literally
that.
what it is.
Table of strategies. Keep public ignorant is under do. To or to get less public organization.
No, no, yeah, it's saying keep
Yeah.
public ignorant if you want to get less public organization, access to control points if you want to require reaction to the outputs for feedback.
Yeah.
Attack the family unit to control the education of the young. Give them less cash and more credit, and then there's more self indulgence and more data. Attack the privacy of the church and destroy faith in this sort of government, social conformity, computer programming simplicity. So if you have social conformity, then the programming is more simple. That's really all it is, huh? Stabilize the consent uh, coefficients for simplicity. Proper timing for less data sniffed and blurring. Minimum resistance to control for maximum control. Maximum control for ultimate objective. Wow. Collapse of currency to destroy the faith of the American people in each other. That's where we are, dude. Rewriting history. Go back up. Rewriting history and law and subjecting the public to the deviant creation, thus being able to shift their thinking from personal needs to highly fabricated outside priorities. That's going on right now as they rewrite the history of World War II and everything, you know,
Yeah.
or tell you the truth so they could utilize it to fucking control you in another way. Disengaging their minds, sabotaging their mental activities by providing a low quality program of public education in mathematics, logic, system designs, and economics. Wow. Junk food for thought and depriving them of what they really need, giving them what they desire. See, here's the thing. This was written a long time ago, even if it was in 1979.
Yeah.
This is apparently written 25 years before that, but it was reprinted in 1979.
Right.
They're talking about junk food for thought, dude. That's like social media. I mean, all this stuff is like social media and everything we're in now.
Yeah. I mean, they literally call it. They call it fucking brain rot now.
They call it junk food for thought too, for your brain. Like they
Yeah.
call it. I've heard it called that, and it's weird that that's been called that here too. Weird. So the diversion summary media keep the public attention diverted away from the real social issues and captivated by matters of no real importance. Schools keep the young people ignorant of real mathematics, real economics, and real law. My son is drawing boxes to do math right now. It's called number bonds. They don't even do math, bro. There's no plus sign or equal sign, dude. He doesn't understand what he's actually doing. He just knows he's taking two boxes and then those boxes connect to a third box and that's supposed to add to it. It's stupid, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy. They're doing this.
The fuck.
Entertainment, keep the public entertainment below a sixth grade level. And honestly, dude, I don't even watch TV anymore because I really do feel like that's where it is. Dude, I'll be watching. I'm like, this is like kid shit.
Yeah. I mean,
Keep
a
the
lot
public
of it
busy,
is
busy.
now.
Yeah. Keep the public busy, busy, busy with no time to think. Back on the farm with the other animals. And guys, I work 2 jobs, and all day I fucking grind on this shit and then try to bring it to you guys so they can't get me down on that last part. They can go get fucked. I'm doing fucking whatever I got to do until this is my full time. I'm fucking grinding.
Hell
I don't
yeah.
give a shit. I work 2 days. Yeah, work, work, work. But guess what? I'm still here for the family somehow. I don't know. I manage it.
We're busy dudes, bro.
Yeah. So these silent weapon systems operate upon data obtained from a docile public by legal force. Much information is made available to silent weapon system programmers through the International Revenue Service. So the IRS is very important for this. This information, and by the way, the IRS was started like around this time, guys. This information consists of the enforced delivery of well organized data contained in federal and state tax forms collected, assembled, and submitted by slave labor provided by taxpayer and employers. That's what it is. It's funny they call it that. If this, so yeah, I mean, here we are. I mean, maybe we could read the rest, but I think we about did it.
Yeah, I think we've covered the majority of the
Did
fucking
that just say autism?
shit.
What did that say? Go back up. Action. Never mind. Sorry. Wait. Go back up. One more. We're done with this because this is what they're trying to do to us. From the time a person leaves its mother's womb, it's every effort is directed towards building, maintaining, and withdrawing into artificial wombs, various sorts of substitute protective devices or shells. The objective of these artificial wombs is to provide a stable environment for both stable and unstable activity, to provide a shelter for the evolutionary process of growth and maturity, survival, to provide security for freedom and provide defense protection for other offensive activity. This is equally true of both the general public and the elite. However, there's a definite difference in the way each of these classes go about the solution of the problems, aka the lower class goes for comfort and the higher class goes for control
Yeah.
and discomfort, but that's so they can maintain control. Have you ever noticed that? All the like rich, motivated people, they always contrast themselves by talking about how motivated they are, you know?
Yeah.
That is really the difference if you think about it. Wow. Wow. Silent weapons for quiet wars. We are about 80 years into this quiet war, guys.
Yeah.
82 years into this quiet war.
And just to top this little document off here, Factor 6, cattle, those who will not use their brains, are no better off than those who have no brains. And so, this mindless school of jellyfish, father, mother, son, and daughter become useful beasts of burden or trainers of the same.
Mm. And that is why you guys, we gotta fucking wake up. That's why Bill Cooper called us sheep and said, "Wake up, sheeple."
Yep.
Dude, RIP, man. That guy knew. That guy knew. Hell
Yeah,
yeah, dude. Hey, go check out our 9/11 episode, man. We did just about 2 hours on that shit on the Patreon. Hopefully you guys stay on there for real, you know. Hopefully you guys just, stay around. Give us
yeah,
some
man. There's
love.
gonna be some good shit on there
The more people that pull up and hang out there and stay there, the more we'll be able to do for you. That's a fact.
for
That's a
sure.
fact. Because then we could do
Facts.
less
Yeah,
outside of this and more of this.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So it's a direct teeter totter, if you will.
yeah.
So
You'll be able. Yeah, you can find more of this shit. Eventually, more of this shit on the Patreon as we get more episodes made, and then
oh
more
yeah.
behind the scenes stuff, all
Oh
that
yeah.
kinds of good shit.
Yeah. And hey, I won't read a document to you guys the whole time next time, I promise. Hey, Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, dude. Very, very important document. You guys can read through the shit that we didn't touch on. It's definitely in depth, you could tell. I think we definitely elaborated and kind of hit on the shit that was important though. So hopefully it was
For sure.
digestible. So yeah, fuck yeah, dude. We'll see you guys next time. Silent Weapons Part 3 or the Chill Pod. Go check out that Patreon.